I have to talk to her.
I knew it. Did I not call it? It's that hoe. Hey guys, it's your girl HK Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to The Walking Dead World Beyond. We are now on episode 5, which is called, I might butcher this, but I think it's Quatervois and Quatervois. Sorry, there's no tre there, but I digress. It's been a long ass time since I spoke French. It's just kind of getting a little more interesting as we go through this plot and realizing that everybody's actually pretty close to each other again, despite being dispersed in the last season. So I'm looking forward to getting into this episode, which we're about to do. But before that, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're interested in more reactions like this one, I do reactions to the original Walking Dead as well as many other shows in that vein. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when I do more reactions, not only to this show, but to others that are like it. So hopefully you will join me on my journey to 10K. Every join is appreciated. Appreciate you. All right, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into the episode right about now.
How's Hope? She okay? I mean, you never really said anything.
She's good.
She stutters. I'm just wondering, is Percy like healthy enough to be wandering around? I know that like he's had his wounds dressed, but he lost a lot of blood. Could you at least have played better music? Can we get some R&B? Ain't nobody saved an Usher track from 2000 or nothing?
Yeah. Just wait.
Right? He's kind of surrounded by people. I know you're a little bit stabby these days, ma'am, but... They're like, was this the guy that couldn't kill them before?
I'm so glad you're okay. Good to see you, big guy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not hugging you. We're not that close. But he's like, I did get cut and come here for you, so why are you here?
So they're all dead? Everyone?
I mean, you didn't really have anybody anyway, but...
My uncle.
Oh, right. Sorry.
If you're right.
We don't have proof, but we know they did it. I know. They're guilty. We're not wrong. Not this time.
We have a way in.
She is right, but it does make her sound very crazy.
Will says the guy who runs this place,
Dennis.
yes, he has access, a key card.
Tomorrow, you're gonna take Dennis's card. You're gonna borrow one of the trucks.
Excuse me, does Silas look like the kind of guy who's ready for espionage?
Door at
I
exactly.
could tell Dennis.
What?
But I think he'd help us.
No. That's what he wants you to think. He's the enemy. He's one of them.
I get it, but he's not like Huck. I just...
He's literally inside
He
Huck.
did something like that.
But you didn't know that.
The time's not on our side, and we can't do this without you. Are you in?
That's a lot of pressure. And look at her using her crush against him. I think you should think it through, Silas. Yeah, take a minute. That's a lot you're asking, with little to no context. And it's rough because they are telling the truth, but it's coming from such a place of anger and hatred right now that it's not sounding very sensible. So I understand Huck or Silas being like, can we just take a minute? Let's take a beat. This plan is very, very, very foolhardy.
Dropping off some work orders. Marjorie still brews the best cup of coffee outside Drew Bruce's.
Where they started brewing actual coffee.
There's a woman in the back just arbitrarily stacking papers for like the last 10 minutes.
I mean, there's always been friction between the military and the politicians, but...
Who are these people?
Not into what we're doing.
That's my question. Who's the government? Who's running this?
I don't really let you walk away because I thought it was what
It's
you
not
wanted.
when... It's just... It's a lot.
Yeah. Can you give him a minute to process?
Okay.
Sucker.
So you're in?
Yes. I mean, I didn't really say yes, but little Silas said yes.
Tomorrow.
It's just something I do.
He did like your pretty jewel rings. And the smell of your hair.
Raising a little hell, not taking no for an answer, it's finally paid off. Just like it did with Billy.
Thank God. I was like, I feel like that's a nightmare. They wouldn't just be in her bedroom like that. But I understand the stress she's going through. Her dad is definitely spiraling a bit. Understandably so. She's gonna have to decide whether or not to trust her dad, and I think that's gonna be a necessity going forward, or these plans are not gonna work out. He's really not the problem. It's that Ho he's with.
Applying your yeast theory to your dad's fungal decay research. And
That means nothing to me because I barely passed chem.
Oh, this is Dr. Amanda Siegel.
Ew, why are you here?
Hey, could you guys excuse us? I just need to talk to my dad alone.
Get out! That includes you, whore.
I know this potential breakthrough is bad timing.
I saw Iris the other night.
Shh.
What if we turned you in? Made it look like we caught you?
It would look less suspicious.
That would work for them too.
Then, once things blow over, we all head west.
Blow over.
Don't just blow over.
Right.
Inside.
Now that Hope's giving them new ideas, they let her go.
You will.
Where's that old man that was panicking about everything? I feel like he's about to spill. I don't trust him.
Got me over 1,000 miles. Helped me feel brave, strong.
You already were. This was just there to be where you needed it to be.
Look at you with your wisdom. I think that actor grew like a solid 3 inches since last filming.
I could say.
We can't risk it. You can't risk it. I'll see you on the other side.
Oh, we're there now. He's mad. He wants revenge on Huck. That's why he really wants to go. Why do I feel like he's gonna sneak in though? You have a chuck wagon? I don't know. I don't think Percy's gonna take this lying down.
Whatever I gotta do, I'll kill 100 of those assholes. I don't care. Whatever I gotta do to get you safe.
Oh,
Then what?
trying a little bit of emotional manipulation, but you know that women are like queens at that. I think you might as well take him. If he went through all of this, he was going to try to find a way in one way or another. At least there's a chance he might not completely screw up this way. He will. Oh, look, it's your daddy. Maybe. Oh my God, they found the oldest picture of Julia Armand. She looking for like old letters from her dad? Because I did say last season that I'm not so sure her dad's dead. They said that they assumed that, but it felt a lot like he disappeared and never came back.
Their trust will need to be earned. Trust is everything between people. Wouldn't you agree, Jennifer?
Oh, look at her little pet in the background. I see her. I'm telling you, she ratted Jennifer out.
They said that she found you in my office.
Mm-hmm. I told you. Someone trying to replace you.
This place is a prison.
This is true.
What if it's also the future?
Oh God.
The CRM.
She's been drinking the Kool-Aid. Ah, at least Hope gets, or Iris gets to see her daddy. Aw, he was worried. Interesting. So Huck didn't give up Percy, but it would kind of give her up too. So we'll see how long this very delicate and very messy dance lasts. Interesting. Good thing Silas has an honest face. I'm wondering if maybe she killed Huck's real parents or something happened to Huck's real parents and she just took her in. Because I'm noticing that the picture that Huck looked at looked hella photoshopped.
And it's when Silas is meeting us to try to serve his terminal.
Wait, hold on. You were with Silas?
Yes, he's coming with us.
A long walk to Portland.
Right?
It's dangerous.
We got here.
And the CRM's there.
They
I need to say goodbye to Lila.
No!
Maybe she could come.
No!
She's the only person outside this room we can trust.
No!
I have to talk to her.
I knew it. Did I not call it? It's that hoe!
With someone who's only been honest with me. Someone who's made everything seem like a little bit less of a mess, I guess.
She's like, so I've been lying. So sorry. Welcome to the world, hun. We all have secrets.
I should probably get going.
Hey.
Can we make out first? End of the world and all? Not this foolish man about to do something dumb.
We need to talk.
What are you doing here?
Now. What would be coming to you if it wasn't life or death?
I think you should listen. How do you know that clock's even right? Them digital clocks in those trucks are always off by about 10 minutes.
What?
I need your help finding out what the hell's going on and who's involved. So we can stop it.
I believe her, but the timing is awful. But the season would be over if they actually escaped already. Right? Like, can we cut this any closer? How fast can y'all walk? Where is the door?
One false move, we shoot.
What? I'm just throwing away dead bodies. What you want? Why did that happen? Okay, well, that's the end of the episode. Interesting. But yeah, guys, that was episode 5, which, well, I'm not even going to try to say the title again. But we see that the team came up with a little bit of a plan. They think this is the best way to try to escape the CRM in a way that's going to keep them together, ideally be minimally invasive, and head to Portland because they think it's time for Portland to find out that what happened to Omaha / the college campus or college colony could very well happen to them, and probably will at this point, because we have no idea. We still don't understand fully why they did it, but we got a little inkling into that towards the end of the episode here, which we'll talk about in a minute. But let's talk a little bit, I guess. I'm going to go through this very quickly. I don't think a ton of stuff went down in this episode. It's a little bit more of creating situations to kind of tip us towards the back half of the season. Main ones being that Hope, well, we'll talk about Hope first, because poor girl, a lot of pressure she's under now, because she now knows what's going on, where her sister is, where Felix is, etc. Her refusing to come back. She knows her dad is not going to drop the situation of finding her sister and Felix anytime soon. So we saw her have that horrible nightmare about the CRM potentially killing him, or thinking that he's making too much noise and taking care of him if he keeps pushing like this. And understandably, she just doesn't want something to go wrong, because her dad is being pretty diligent about this. I'm glad she finally did tell her father the entirety of the truth. As I said, he's not the person I'm worried about. Of course, it's the woman, right? We know that what's-her-face is she's in the CRM, right? She will absolutely try to stop him, and Hope especially, from leaving and taking that knowledge with them. And of course, that whole scene where they're incorporating Hope's seemingly throw out their idea of the yeast and fermentation, and now they're saying it's just taking them off in a whole new direction they hadn't thought of before. Right? She's now valuable to them. She's now proven her worth. So of course they're going to want to hold on to her at all costs now. So Huck stepping in at the last minute. I'm glad we got to see what those reports meant, because I wasn't sure. Like, let me talk about Huck for a minute, because Huck is clearly, as I said before in the episode, she's clearly questioning where her mother's at. Is her mother really this bad, or is it just a misunderstanding of what her intentions are with the greater good? And her breaking into the safe and seeing well, first of all, the picture to me, I'm still not sure if the picture is hella Photoshop, because obviously Julia Ormond is no longer in her 20s, and I'm thinking they took a picture of Julia Ormond, probably that actress who plays Huck as a child, and then whoever that other guy is, and tried to Photoshop it all together. But it looked very sloppy. Like, I could tell very easily it was Photoshopped. And again, maybe they just have really poor people working in their digital department. But it's The Walking Dead, so I just feel like they could have made that picture look a lot more realistic, which to me, if it looked so easily Photoshopped, it starts to make me think maybe Huck's mom is not Huck's mom. Like, maybe there's a story there. That would explain a lot of things, but I might be just putting too much into it. But I think it's an interesting thing that they took the time for Huck to look at that picture that was so clearly Photoshopped, and then she went over and looked at that file, which I thought might have been about her, but we see it was actually about the fact that Omaha and the college campus were tests of some kind, and that they did, as she said, bring all of those, the column or the herd of walkers, to those areas on purpose. She doesn't know about the bombing, obviously, yet. Nobody will at this point, but she now knows that her mom did cause Omaha, and it was not an accident. So she's asking for the help of the girl's dad to get the truth behind it, to decode it and figure out what community might be next. Because she's saying that there's also people within the Commonwealth that are part of this testing program, and she doesn't understand how yet. So obviously she's scared too that people within the Commonwealth could end up experiencing what Omaha did. And with her mom flying out a lot and leaving the campus a lot and having all the military concerns elsewhere, and that was brought up a few times, the military and the government, like things are going down is the point. And it sounds like the Commonwealth as a whole is not in on all the inner workings of these plans. And I think they were trying to stress the fact that nothing is safe. Like none of these communities that the Commonwealth is running are really safe from being potentially wiped out the way that Omaha was. Her finding that out and telling the girl's dad about it, obviously this puts him in an awkward position because he's supposed to be escaping. But if he escapes, there's no way he's going to be able to get to the bottom of what this research is, what it's about, and how they could potentially stop it. So again, it kind of is the case for him not leaving. And of course, we know that there's no way at this point that Iris or Felix are going to want to stay in the Commonwealth, right? They just don't want to be there no matter what the reasoning is. And Percy is definitely still a wild card in this as well. Understandably, he's angry. Understandably, he wants revenge. But I'm glad to hear that he's aware of the fact that if he goes hard for revenge with no restraint, it's going to negatively affect people he's come to care about. But I still don't think that he's got it out of his system yet. I just don't think that if he gets what he perceives as an opportunity to kill Huck, that he's not going to take it. Hopefully we'll get to see more about Percy's thinking and feelings outside of that, because we haven't really gotten a lot of that since he's been back. It's very much just kind of been that anger and that hurt, but we need to get a few more layers to get a little more understanding of why he'll do what he does or chooses not to do. And clearly, him and Iris have got a little something going on there. We saw, she gave him a little kiss goodbye and stuff, so they on that level, I suppose. But there's also just so much going on with Percy right now that I wonder if their relationship is the best timed at the moment. Outside of that, we had a little bit with Elton and back at the camp, him and, the girl, I keep forgetting her name. I'm glad he kind of has a little crush. It's cute. It doesn't look like he's going to go too far at this point, but they've spent some time on it, so we might get a little bit more of their little relationship, but I'm not against it. They seem to want everybody to have a relationship this season, so good for Elton. And then we basically kind of have the whole Iris thing and how she tried to convince Silas of what's going on here. As I said in the episode, it came off a little bit strange. Obviously, I can see why Silas was very hesitant to rock the boat that he's in right now. He was put between a rock and a hard place. I don't really appreciate the guilt trip that Iris put on him, but I also understand why she was so desperate to get him to help them. And of course, she's assuming that Silas is going to be as enraged about Omaha and the whole situation as she is. But Silas is in a completely different position, right? She's got to understand that this whole thing is going to be digested differently for everybody. Like we saw that Silas was sad about his uncle dying, but at the same time, he didn't really have anybody, right? He just moved to the Omaha/college campus community. So, it's sad, I'm sure, that he lost somebody, but at the same time, he does have the potential to have something here, and that's what I think what he's thinking. Anyhow, in the end, he chose the family, which I knew he would because he still has, I think, those feelings for Iris despite everything. But as we saw, he got held up at the end, so we don't know what happened there. If that's just because, like I said, he's not the normal guy who drives the truck, or if potentially Huck's husband figured out something weird was going on and decided to test him. There's a lot of eyes on this group, and I don't think everyone is being as trusting as they're putting out there. I do think Huck's mom is testing them. I do think she's watching and potentially listening. So we'll just have to see whether or not this plan goes sideways or if they're going to have to put a pause button on it because of the new information that Huck's provided. So that's pretty much the episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.